Hi everyone, I'm Dave Coleman and I'm Chief Technical Officer of Dark Labs and lead developer of our product Insights. Insights is software that lives inside every ConnectWise support ticket, and it's designed to give you tools and information to help solve support tickets faster. This video is both a product demonstration if you're looking to use Insights, and it's also the quick start guide if you've already signed up and you've got it installed and you're ready to go. We're going to cover the main features of Insights and the best times to use them to get the most out of the system. So in this video, we're going to go through Insights' main features in the order that we found they work best for solving tickets. So here you can see the Insights pod inside a support ticket inside ConnectWise. We recommend moving the pod to the top of your screen so you can always see it and you'll get the most benefit from it. So the first main feature we're going to look at is the related tickets feature. So staff turnover is a big problem for MSPs, and you'll often have engineers who know the systems of a particular client inside out, and when they walk out the door, the only place all their knowledge and previous fixes exist is inside your historical support tickets. Insights basically aims to put that information in front of your other technicians, essentially unlocking fixes that were previously hidden away in old tickets. And of course, this also helps train up new technicians faster by providing them with these old fixes without having to interrupt other members of your staff. When you open up a ticket inside ConnectWise, the first thing you'll see in Insights is a list of related tickets here. This list is generated from a combination of interactions with the ConnectWise API, as well as using artificial intelligence to help rank them to come up with a list of tickets it thinks will provide information likely to help solve the current ticket. So if we just have a scan of the notes in the ticket that we've just opened, we can see here that the user has taken their work laptop home, and while it will connect to their Wi-Fi, they can't access the internet. If you look at the related tickets that Insights found, the top one here is actually for the same user at the company, and that was a ticket that says home laptop connects to office Wi-Fi but no internet. So it sounds very similar to the ticket that we're currently on. Now you'll see when you hover your mouse over any of these related tickets, you get these two buttons pop up over here, Summary and Open. Clicking Open will just take you directly to that ticket in a new ConnectWise window or tab. And if you click on Summary, it uses AI to give you an overview of this particular related ticket. So we can see from this particular related ticket that the user's laptop was set to a specific IP address, and the fix that was carried out in the ticket was set the laptop to obtain an IP address automatically. So that sounds like it could solve the ticket that we're currently on. So we can see from just looking at the summary of this one related ticket, it's given us a very strong idea of what might be going on with the current ticket and how to solve it. So there's a statistic that something like 50% of an engineer's time is spent finding information in order to help them solve a ticket. So hopefully this demonstrates how Insights can put information right in front of your engineer's eyes, right inside the ticket when they need it. This is one of the reasons that it helps increase your first-time fix rates. So while still on the related tickets, you can see you've got these tabs here across the top, and the default one is related, which is the AI powered one that it comes up with the tickets it thinks that will help you. If we go to open tickets, well, there's none currently open for this particular company, but this screen is helpful for, say, your service desk managers. So if you're in a situation where multiple people from a company have, for example, opened tickets that say my emails aren't working, can't send emails, can't receive emails, they'll all show up in there, and you can see that there's probably a deeper problem there. So you might want to look at the email server or something, rather than getting technicians to work on the individual problems, which has likely got a common source. The closed tickets tab shows any tickets that were closed recently for this company. So you can quickly go back to previous issues. This tab here is tickets that were opened by the member of staff that the current ticket was created by, so you can just quickly look back and see what problems they've had. And the final tab is for tickets for you as an engineer that's logged in have worked on. So if you remember working on a ticket recently for this particular company, it's most likely going to be in that list there. For any of these tabs, If you hover over the little funnel icon here, you can filter it down to tickets that you've worked on, tickets for the current client that's opened it, or you can order them. So the default is to order it by the AI score that it gives them. You can order them by date, or you can order them by the hours worked, the hours logged against each ticket. So if you've been unable to get the information you need from the related tickets, the next feature that we suggest trying is the advanced time entry search feature. So to access the time entry search, if you click on the little magnifying glass in the menu on the left here, it brings up this box. Now, a lot of the time when you are trying to solve a ticket, you might remember having worked on something similar, but you don't remember when it was or necessarily which company it was for. So that's where this time entry search comes in. By default, it will search in the company that's set to the ticket you're currently on, and you can change the time period that it searches through down here. Now, just put in your search term in here, and it will go and it will search through all the time entries and find that particular term. So in this case, you might remember that you had a problem that was due to airplane mode, and it found all the occurrences of the word airplane in your ticket notes here. And again, you can jump straight to that ticket with open, or you can summarize them again using the AI features, and you can see right there the ticket breakdown, what was done and what was the cause. If we just quickly jump back to the search box, as I said, it defaults to the company you're currently working with, but if you click the little X here, it clears the client name, and then that will now search all the time entries for any company in your ConnectWise instance. So if you're unable to get the information you need from the search feature, then the next feature that I want to show you is the suggest fixes feature. So we're all used to going to Google to search for answers to the problems that we're facing, but now we're in the era of AI. These large language models have been trained on pretty much the entirety of the internet, including websites like Stack Exchange, Superuser, Spiceworks forums, things like that. And we've basically made one button here in Insights called Suggest Possible Fixes. And when you click that, it basically uses AI to present the problem in the ticket, and it generates you a list of things to try to solve the problem. It lays it out in this format. It gives you an overview of the problem to show that it understands what it's looking for answers for. If there are any fixes already attempted in the notes, it lists them there, and it doesn't bother relisting them down here. In fact, it can look at what you've already tried in order to influence the list of things to try next. So we can see here that the second suggestion says verify that the DNS settings are correctly configured, which, as we saw from the related ticket, is probably what the problem is on this ticket. You'll see that whenever you hover over one of these suggested fixes, you get a button here that says how. And if you click that, it basically gives you a step-by-step guide on how to carry out that suggested fix. So the suggested fixes, we found them to be helpful in two scenarios really, and the first one is for training up new members of staff. So obviously everybody's got to start somewhere, and having a list of suggested fixes gives new technicians a list of ideas to get their teeth into, things to try first, things to explore before having to bother a more experienced member of staff. And secondly, even seasoned professionals, people that have been doing IT support their whole lives, if there's a problem that they're stumped with, they're stuck on, we often find that just scanning down this list of suggested fixes is often enough just to spark something they might not have thought of that will set them off down the path that allows them to fix the problem. Just one more note on the possible fixes. If you click the spanner icon up here for suggested fixes, by default, it automatically works out the problem from the notes in the ticket. You can also specify your own problem if it's slightly different, or you want to get information for a very specific thing that you're trying to do within the ticket. In which case you type it in there, press suggest possible fixes, and the list is more tailored to what you've asked for rather than being auto-generated. You'll see here that when you hover over, there's another button called Add to Notes, and we will cover this in the Job Notes Generator section of this Quick Start Guide. So those are the main three features and the order we suggest using them to get more information in order to try and help you solve a support ticket. So just to go over it again, we've got the related tickets where you can see previous fixes for similar problems. We've got the search for the time entries, so you can look for things you've worked on previously. And of course, we've got the possible fixes, which uses all the information available in the ticket to suggest fixes from AI on how to solve this particular problem. The next feature that I want to show you is the Generate Ticket Summary button. Now, you'll often find yourself in a situation where a ticket has got a lot of notes on it. A lot of work's already been carried out, maybe it's been escalated, and it's your job to get up to speed on the ticket to find out what you need to do next. And wading through all those notes, especially when they're emails that are going backwards and forwards, and they've got loads of email signatures to wade through, and there's a whole lot of noise and a whole lot of mess. If you click this button, it uses AI to give you an overview of the ticket. It breaks it down into 3 sections. It shows you what the problem was. It gives a work log of the things that were carried out based on the notes and time entries recorded in the ticket. And it gives you the main points, the most relevant things in the ticket. We find that some MSPs use this tool and record the summary as a note on the ticket to save the person it gets escalated to a job. And also for anybody looking back, they can just look and see that summary to see what the ticket was about. Whether or not you've used any of Insight's features to help you solve the ticket, it's important to accurately record the work that you've done on the ticket. Whenever we ask engineers what's their least favourite part of their job, they'll inevitably say writing job notes. And I think it's basically because it's time spent doing admin when obviously you'd rather be in there solving problems. So to address this, we've made something called the Job Notes Generator. You access that with this third icon down here, pop out says Job Notes. Now the idea of the Job Notes Generator is that you record everything that you do line by line, and at the end it will write you a fully spell checked and structured note that you can insert into ConnectWise, which logs everything that you've done. If we look here, the screen is split into 4 sections. We've got the section at the top here where you actually write. Then we've got 3 lists. We've got to-do list and notes. We've got the done section and the next step. So the to-do list and notes section is where you can build up a list of things that you want to try and then tick them off as you do them. We'll just add a couple of things to this list to show you how it works. So carrying on from the list of work that's already been carried out on this ticket, we'll say run another internet speed test. That in the to-do list. You see it just appears there. Confirm problem fixed with client. So as well as a list of things that you want to do, anything that appears in this to-do list, as it says, it won't show in the final generated notes. So you can use it to store temporary information about the ticket that you don't want to end up in the notes. And then as you carry out each action, you can just tick or drag into the done list to keep a log of what you've been up to. The benefit of adding things to the list line by line as you do them is that if you get distracted as you inevitably do in this job, if you leave the ticket and come back to it, they'll all still be there ready to go before you've actually inserted anything into ConnectWise. In this instance, the next steps will be to close the ticket. So we've got a few presets up here. If you hover over, we'll just click close ticket to put that in there. And then when you're happy, everything that you've done is in that list. When you press generate job notes, it puts it into a standard format for you, showing what the situation was, all the work that you've done, and this is all spell checked and made extra professional, and then obviously the next steps. You can edit any of the text directly in this window. When you're happy, you've got this button down here, insert note or time entry. When you click that, it brings up a window that you're probably familiar with, because it's basically all of the things that you can choose when you insert a time entry in ConnectWise, but obviously it's already pre-populated with your information here. So you can set your work type, whether it's billable, the time that you've spent on it, and then just click add time entry and it gives you a summary. double check it's going to go in properly, and then just press insert to ConnectWise and it adds the time entry directly into the ticket. If you don't want it to be a time entry, just change it to notes only over here. If we go back to the job notes that it generated, you can see on pretty much every output that Insights gives, you've got buttons down here, rewrite for customer, and it takes everything that was given in the output and it basically just turns it into a friendly customer facing message that you can either copy and paste it into an email, or again, if you insert it, you can choose the email customer and then it'll insert it into ConnectWise and it will use ConnectWise to send the email to the customer. So obviously having an email ready to go based off work that you've already done is a time saver. Or if English isn't your first language, or if like me, you openly admit you're not very good at writing, having the system generate something for you that you can send straight to the customer makes it more professional, more consistent across all your engineers, across all tickets. If we just jump back to the job notes window again, one thing I wanted to show you is anything in these lists has a how button like we have in the suggested fixes. And providing there's enough context in your note for the AI to understand what it is you're asking, when you press how, it will give you a step-by-step of how to carry out that item in your to-do list, which is obviously pretty handy if, say, a new technician has been given a list of things to try by an existing member of staff. They don't have to bother them, they can just click how once they've added it into the to-do list. So we can also get things into the to-do list section of the job notes generator from the suggested fixes list. Any of the fixes that come up, when you hover over them, you see you've got add to notes here. So anything in the list that you think, oh yeah, I'll give that a try. If you click add to notes, then go back to job notes, you'll see they've appeared there up in the to-do list. And again, you've got the how button to give you a step-by-step guide for any one of the things that it suggests. And as you go down, you just tick these things off. They go in your done list, and then they'll appear in your final generated job note. So just to recap, when you use the job notes generator, you record everything that you do line by line, and it creates a structured and spell-checked note to insert into the time entries, and allows you to generate an update to send to the customer, which helps make your communication consistent across all tickets and all engineers. If you use IT Glue for your documentation, then you can enable our IT Glue integration, which appears at the top here, which gives you links straight to the specific areas of IT Glue for the company, for the ticket that you're currently looking on. So for example, company is Warp Bubble Systems. We click on documents here. It'll take us straight to the documents for Warp Bubble Systems in IT Glue. You've got permanent visible links to the most frequent areas used in IT Glue, or if you hover over the more arrow, then you get access to all of the different parts of IT Glue. Because these provide links that open in a new tab to IT Glue to the specific areas, all of the information still kept behind IT Glue's security. Next, I'd like to show you just a few of the periphery features of Insights, and these are just kind of extra tools to help you in your everyday engineering life. If you click up here on the menu on the left, the little speech bubbles, it says ChatGPT. This is a direct link to OpenAI using the business grade APIs. It's also been pre-prompted to behave more like an IT support guru, so the answers it will give you will be more specific towards solving tickets. Let's just put something in here. How much RAM does Windows 11 need? Minimum of 4 gigabytes. And we've got a follow-up chat box under here as well. So what about Win 10? And it keeps the context, so it knows what you were talking about. Windows 10 requires a minimum of 2 gig, 1 gig for the 32-bit version. So every time they upgrade OpenAI, we upgrade the version in our system. And because Insights is a web-based software as a service solution, you're always running the most up-to-date version of Insights, and you'll always be using the most up-to-date version of AI that's available. The next thing I want to show you is called the text perfector. The idea here is that anything you type into this box will be turned into spell-checked, proofread, perfectly flowing English, and it uses AI to do that. Now, originally we were going to drop this feature because it was only in there to start with as a bit of a tech demo when we were building Insights, but we soon found that a lot of MSPs employ people where English isn't necessarily their first language, or like people like myself openly admit they're not that great at writing English. And we found this feature was getting hammered. It was getting used all the time. So if you want to write something to a customer and you want to check that what you are writing, A, makes sense, B, has no grammar or spelling errors in it, then this is the tool for you. Literally anything you write in there, it'll turn it into perfect English. So I asked one of our heaviest users of this feature, whose first language isn't English, if they'd mind sharing an example of something that they have put into this box and got it to rewrite the text for them to send to the customer. So they very kindly copied and pasted me an example of something they might put in this box, which I'll copy in now. So I log in to server to check updates. I found many Windows updates stuck and not installing good. After some troubleshoot, I pushed the updates and now they're installing success. So when we click perfect my text, it changes that to, I logged into the server to check for updates and found many Windows updates stuck. After troubleshooting, I pushed the updates and they are now installing successfully. Then you can just click copy, put that into an email or wherever you want. So this text perfector feature basically helps you make your communication with clients more consistent and more professional. The next feature I want to show you is the password generator. We added this because it was the most requested peripheral feature of things that would be helpful to engineers. So it's got everything you might expect: a length slider, what types of characters and how many to include, regenerate it as many times as you want, and then just click copy to put it on the clipboard. Very straightforward, but very handy to have right inside the ticket. So that's everything that I wanted to show you. I hope that helps you understand the main features and the best order and times to use them in, and hopefully how to get the best from them. If you are in charge of implementing Insights for your business, then take a look at our best practices video. You'll get the most out of this software if you implement it as part of your processes. We've built Insights from the ground up, working hand in hand with engineers on the front line to make sure we only build features that add value to your life, basically, as an engineer. And to that end, if you have any feedback, any questions, any suggestions for features or anything you might change, then please always feel free to drop us a line, hello@darklabs.ai. Or you can email myself, dave@darklabs.ai. I'm always happy to talk with anybody that uses our software and listen to whatever you have to say. If you've already signed up to Insights and you're using it in your company, then again, please feel free to get in touch, but please feel free to share any wins that you have with it. I love it when people tell me how it helped them solve particular problems. That's always great to hear. And if you're considering trying Insights, then just head over to darklabs.ai/sign up, and within 20 minutes you could have Insights up and running in front of your engineers in a pod inside ConnectWise, live on your data. You'll get a 2-week full access trial to all of the features. You don't need to put in any payment information to sign up. You can just go and do it now and get stuck in. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll speak to you soon.